I told William Wade that I would be doing like a Metroid run, but after Philip mentioned that this game was free, and like I've been trying to get you guys to get all of it, get all of you guys to get this game. I love this game so much. For one, the freaking music. I mean, just listen to the music. Okay, it's not very good right now, but it's really good. It gets really good, especially like in the game with like boss fights and whatnot. Um, Plus, this is multiplayer, so ergo facto. I don't know if that's the right time to use that saying, but you guys, this game is seriously just like so much fun. Right. I was just about to start my other character, but then I was like, nah, I probably want to start fresh. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna choose a character that's exactly like the one I already have. Is why not? Although you know, I think I'm gonna do this hair because that actually looks pretty dang good. Yeah, blue eyes, because we're doing an RPG, and yet I still want to do the coolest combination in the world. That's me. I'm the coolest combination. Nah, I'm a bit biased. You know, with games like this, where you have like an option to do like face scars and eye color and whatnot, like you really don't spend that much time looking at your character's face anyway. It's mostly like in cutscenes, and then even then, in cutscenes, especially in this game, you're wearing a helmet. And I mean, I guess I think this game has like a hide helmet option.
Hey, what's this doing here? This looks like it could be useful.
Like that one. No, not hardcore. Hardcore, you know, with games like this, like it always scares me, because if you do hardcore and you die, you lose everything. And I'm definitely not that good. Like most games, I'll play like I'll play like hard mode. But this game's actually pretty hard, so you know, no, I won't skip the tutorial just because I want you guys to see this. Plus, I'm also playing on an Xbox controller, and everyone knows I'm a PlayStation guy, so I need to practice. Gosh, that looks so good. You know, this game is. I think this game came out in like 2016. Double check here. See, just listen to this music while I look this up. What? It came out 2019? Okay, well, that makes sense. It looks good because it came out so recently. But I played the prequel to this. I didn't know there was one. I played the prequel to this game, and I think that came out in like 2013.
What can we do when our last hope fails?
And it starts out in that circle. The prequel, it starts out in that circle back there.
You must discover.
And it's talking about like generations
Our last hope.
leaving,
Sail
sailing the sea to the island.
in search of an end to the beasts that have hunted us for generations.
And that's what your character does in the first game. It goes out to like stop this generational drought of like
When the
misery
dragon
and
rose
chaos.
into the sky like a phoenix.
And that's what your character did. Like release the dragon. And it was like it all ended up being like a trick and stuff. I know you guys probably aren't gonna play the prequel, so I'm just gonna spoil it all for you. So, but honestly, it is such an awesome game. Probably one of the coolest games I've ever played. Almost unplayable, just because it's so old. But you know, I love old games like freaking Advent Rising or Fable. Ugh, I was just talking to Philip the other day about Fable, and it's just such a freaking good game. is also done by the same people who like did Darksiders. I don't know if you guys have played those games. Yeah, these guys did Darksiders.
When our last
All of them.
hope fails, another shall take its place.
What's gonna happen?
So long as we have breath.
You guys should play the Darksiders games if you haven't. Okay, those freaking simulacrums are so hard to come by. So like the thing about this game is that each game has a different seed, and what that means is like your game will be different from someone else's. Not just like playstyle and whatnot, but like the actual environment. So like someone else's Earth will be different than your Earth. It'll have different streets, it'll have different buildings, it'll have different equipment, and that's everyone's game. Session will be joined by me. That makes sense. Okay. So that's my melee. I don't have a gun yet. After this tutorial, your sword breaks, and they're like, we made it into a full suit of armor for you, and I'm like, I don't think you made that into a full suit of armor, but it ends up being like the most powerful melee weapon in the game. The thing is, you have to collect 100 rare resources in order to reforge it. And I've played this game 4 different times, and I have not been able to. Remake it just because like the items are so rare, and like I said, each game is a different seed, and so finding materials is really ridiculous. It's really hard. That bloodburst is like the common health potion of the game. Yeah, it's honestly, it is the worst. Just because like it's so slow. You saw how slow it was. Yeah, you're supposed to like most tutorials at the beginnings of games, you're actually supposed to like die in the tutorial. But I take pride in the fact that I've only died in 1 tutorial run, and the few times that I've played the game. Plus, you have unlimited stamina, and when you have unlimited stamina, you kind of have no excuse to die, especially when it's like so easy. Ooh, did you see that dodge? Oof. Yeah, this game is so good. Oh, shit. Freaking parkour. Oh, I gotta kill this guy fast. Oh, that's why. Oh gosh. I don't know if you guys have played Back 4 Blood yet, but there are these zombies called snitches. That's exactly how it sounds. They will scream and alert the horde. And that's basically what that guy is. Because every time he screams, not only does he take away a fetch ton of health, but he also alerts the horde. Just when there's a lock-on mechanic, maybe not. Maybe that's just in the, you can hear other survivors. So in this game, it'll explain it, but I like to pretend I know what I'm doing. There are these wards, and you have Ward 13, which is where I'm headed right now. In the first game, you find out that there's like Ward 1 through 30 and whatnot. But that's just like in San Francisco, which I think this takes place in. Ironically, it looks exactly the same. But like each state in the U.S. has these different wards, and this takes place in like the 60s. The first game takes place in like the 30s, I think. And so there's like a huge generational gap right now between my character here and my character in the first game. That guy's dead. Yeah, see, if I had died during the tutorial here, I wouldn't have gotten to see this. I would have just, like, the cutscene would have shown, like, me being carried off by the people of Ward 13. And like, me waking up from being unconscious. Maybe it might still show it. Gosh, this game looks so good. Those guys are a nuisance. Literally like the grunts of Halo. They're just like, ooh, killing. This music, too, you got this music. It's cool too, like in the first game with that weapon. In the first game, you can choose to start with that weapon. You can choose to start with that sword, or like a basic axe. Oh yeah, this is what they show if you die during the tutorial. So you wouldn't see that other guy trying to fight for his life. Of course, he wasn't even really trying. Gosh, I'm coming over just barely trying to survive a cold. Or Omicron, am I right? Omicron? I'm
Awake.
I don't know. Hey, you're finally awake.
Hi there. Whoa, take it slow. You got hurt real bad.
I don't know what it is with kids and games, but I just want to punch him in the face. Who are you? Where am I?
Ward 13. It's safe here.
That's what they all say.
Safe place there is. I'm Wallace.
Why do they always say it's safe here and then in the middle of the game your town or whatever always gets raptured? Who's the commander? I don't know how I got here. I don't have to ask that.
She's in charge. Oh, Commander Ford and Mr. Riegler found you outside. They brought you here. But they said Mark wasn't coming back.
I don't care about Mark.
Never mind.
Watch kids fall apart all day. I'm good now.
Commander
Good.
said you should come see her when you woke up. She's in the room down the hall. She'll find a place for you.
Everyone's got a face.
I'll
Yeah,
see you later.
Maybe I should put that on YouTube. Read someone's personal journal. Dear Diary. Actually, these diaries or journals get pretty intense. They're basically just like, this guy's losing his mind, and they're not like their leader or whatnot, and they're like, he's losing his mind. We gotta like overthrow him. We gotta do like a whole what is that? Mutiny. Ooh. And like, yeah, a lot of these are just like, they're opening new worlds. So there are these things called I don't know how much like of this I'm gonna actually pay for you guys, but let's see, it's just so much fun. This girl, hate her. But there are these things. There are these kids called dreamers, and they use their minds to open up portals to different worlds. However, they have to be unconscious in order to do it. And so there's like this whole controversy of like they're abusing these children to open up planets, to open up worlds to other planets and whatnot. And it's super cool. Not the whole abusing kids part, but the portal part. Where's my weapon?
It's with Riggs downstairs. If everything checks out here, I'll see you get it back.
No, I won't.
I'm Commander Ford.
I know I won't get it back.
And you
Are an unexpected guest. Yeah,
It's my
I get
job
it.
to know the kind of people I bring into Ward 13. We haven't seen a living soul on that shore for...
Joke's on you, I'm a redhead.
You
I'll have
will
one of
tell
those.
me why you were really out there. Or...
I'm from an island across the water.
No one has been in that tower in a very long time.
Yeah, so that lighthouse,
No chance
that lighthouse that you see at the beginning, that's where your character starts out in the first game, by going to that lighthouse. And you find, like, this medical ward up there, and that ward is, like, ward, I think it's, like, ward 2 or 3.
Now that you're here, I have an idea. I'll tell you what. You want to leave? You'll have to do something for
Honestly,
us first.
if you guys do get into this game as much as I have, I totally,
The way I see it, you'd be a court. This is your chance to...
you know, it doesn't matter if you're nice or rude to this woman. The story plays out exactly the same. Like, they're literally no
First, we
differences.
need power. With enough power, we might be able to activate another way out. The reactor is on the lower basement level. There's a stairway.
Anyway, so yeah, that's like where your character first starts out in the first game, is in that lighthouse. And you just make your way to the top, and you, like, they have, like, the alarms blaring, and everyone's dead. And so you turn off the alarms and whatnot. Yeah, I wouldn't trust me with this. Yeah, I get it, I'm expendable. And, like, your character literally is just this secluded islander, and you're walking into a room full of dead people with electricity and alarms blaring off, and you have no idea what even electricity is, and all of a sudden you know how to work a computer. Kind of doesn't fit the story and whatnot. Yeah. And that one guy at the gym, you know what I'm talking about? The guy who thinks he's like a boxer just because he brought his own Walmart MMA gloves to the gym. Can you see? Let's see if I can turn up the brightness a little bit. Video brightness. Let's turn that potty all the way up. That's better. Oh my gosh. That's better. Let's see how long I've been recording for. I don't even know. What does it say? 17 minutes? Heck yeah, bro. Okay. I gotta talk to this guy.
Hey, it's good to see you on your feet again.
Yeah, well, I feel same.
You seem like a tough one, though.
He's really nice. I shouldn't be rude to him.
Most everyone. Well, your
Great.
sword was pretty banged up in the fight.
No one's really to do with it, I'm afraid.
The blade was shattered when we found you.
We found you. The best sword in the game was shattered when we found you. Convenient.
Out in the city. Maybe she'll help you out.
You know, I was actually like afraid of doing. I was actually afraid of doing like these recordings and whatnot for you guys, because like, I don't know, I'm not much of a talker. Like, I'll watch William play Dark Souls, and he's just like, you know, talking real fast and talking funny. I'm not that funny. I'm not as funny as William is. But I was like, I'm not even have much to say. I'm not even have much to talk about. I don't know what to talk about, but you know, I think it's like a whole psychological thing. Once the camera turns on, it's like, you actually have a lot to say. And the funny thing too is like, I've taken 2 public speaking classes, parkour. I've taken 2 public speaking classes, and like, oh, just gonna bust this guy's stuff up. Actually, he's not here yet. You have to interact with this guy out in the world before he shows up. Same with this woman here. I'm like spoiling this whole game for you guys before you even play it. I don't know. Maybe I just feel like you guys aren't going to play it. What was I saying? Yeah, like, I can speak in front of a crowd, you know, I have honestly no problem with that. I've taken a couple public speaking classes, and one of them was actually from Stacy's dad, our aunt, and like, Stacy's dad, and it was fun, but like, you know, I already had a really good head on my shoulders when I came to talking to people, and talking to like publics and stuff, but yeah, I don't know, it was, you know, I just have like no problem talking to people, which is ironic because I never got to serve a mission, but I don't know, I was just like, once the camera's on, I don't know even what I'm going to say, I'm going to be so boring, because I remember JD saying like, well, if you're boring, I'm not going to watch you, and I was like, well, shoot. And, you know, we all look up to J.D. Willingness said it dozens of times.
I got my eye on you.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Don't try nothing.
Freaking pervert. Last thing I want to be is boring for J.D. Of course, now he has his second son, Cal, son of L. No, but freaking Cal Barrett, dude, sick name. You have Rickety Cricket and Cal. Freaking love those kids. So yeah, I just think it's like a psychological thing. Like once the camera's on, it's almost like you have to talk or else it's just noise. Of course, talking is just noise. Who am I? Can't remember how to get my weapon. Maybe I think I have to go talk to. So they sent me down to the reactor, or they're gonna send me down to the reactor, and conveniently the elevator's out of order. And you know what I'm gonna do is, so there's like a lot of levels to this, and this isn't just Ward 13. This is like Ward 13 and Ward 12 and Ward 11. See, like, that's B2. But that that area back there, up the stairs, that's where I was like supposed to go, because that's where she told me to go. But I don't give a fuck. I don't have that item yet. The thing is, like, if you go all the way down here, I actually don't think I can yet, but there are these rooms and whatnot that have items. So yeah, here I have to have a fuse. I don't know why I just keep going over punching things. I don't have that key card. But in here is like Ward 12 or whatever, and your character actually goes there in the first game. It's really cool. Honestly, like the fact that this game connects so much with the first game is uncanny. You know, not many games really do that, and I think that's why I was like so invested in it in the first place. Was just because like the world building was so well done, and you know I think that's why I also like Darksiders, is because like the world building in that one is so well done. Sorry guys, this game curses. I know how we all feel about that. Yeah, I think that's why I like Darksiders so much, is just because like having that storyline is just super cool.
You nearly scared the life out of me. No one else wandering around down here. You're not from around here, are you? Name's Ace. Ace Cotterill? You?
Trying to get in this game session before I have to go to church today. Don't tell my bishop I'm playing games on Sunday. I'm looking for the reactor.
Is that right? Well, we found it.
Right, yep. So this is where I get my weapon, because this is where I choose my class. How hard can it be? I'm beating the game.
Lucky for you, just the press of a button on the. Would have done it myself, but without no. With the two of us, though. Okay, so I have.
Now most people, like you can make a class. However, it's not like Dark Souls, you know, where you can. Well, I guess it, in a sense, is like Dark Souls, because like it's not just as surface level as picking a barbarian class or a rogue class or whatnot. Because this is when I first played this game, this was the class that I chose. Let's see, what's my time here? What am I at? 24. Good, I can finish this fight and then I'll be done. For today at least. But this is the class that I chose the first one, because I always choose a heavy. Like when I played World of Warcraft, I chose a heavy class, you know, tank. When I first played Dark Souls, I was just a kid. But I chose tank class, you know, go through heavy punches, take damage, no big deal, except you can't take damage in Dark Souls, you can just die. But this is the wrong class to choose for this game. And this is what you actually want, the ex-cultist, because, I mean, you have these builds that are like a life leech build, or I chose life leech build, that's the one I remember. But like, you just have all these other classes that they're not so surface level. They are,
Get up there and
they are a weapons throughout the game, and after you get those certain weapons, like you have to have a certain mod on them, and based off of your certain weapon and your certain mod, that's your build. It's not just like choosing a single weapon and then a single set of armor. Like it's way more in depth than that. I also just really like this game because of the combat. Just took her face off. How about that scene in freaking Batman vs Superman? Batman shows up for the first time, bro. Peeing myself.
Hang in.
I can only imagine how that bad guy felt. I actually think it's only in this like first round, this first fight, tussle, that aim assist actually works. I think after this point, aim assist just completely doesn't work. Just because it's the beginning of the game, they want you to feel comfortable, they want you to feel like I can do this. We all know that. We all know that. So basically what I'm getting at is I don't know if I'm actually like good at aiming or if that was really bad timing. I don't know if I'm like actually good at aiming or if it's just the aim assist right now.
That was rough.
Oh, that was kamikaze. I'm surprised I didn't get one of those actually.
Fuck good. Real good. You best go check in with Ford. Come visit my shop sometime. I'll make sure to give you the good in a fight discount.
This is gonna hurt. Oh, I didn't get any fall damage. Normally there is fall damage, but that's just, obviously if you're falling much farther. This isn't like Dark Souls. Like I remember I was watching Wade one time.
Good to have some light
Um,
around here.
I was watching Wade play Dark Souls one time, and like he
You're risking a lot for folks you don't know, stranger.
just need to be moving on. He was playing, and it was Dark Souls 3. He was in Firelight Shrine. I can't remember what he was doing. I think he was just like trying to kill himself
From a campaign, but
to get like something to spawn or whatever. I think it was like one of the
you
giant
got a feeling of death
seeds
about
like
you.
from the trees.
You
that are
gonna
outside
get
Firelight.
thrilled, ain't you?
I just need to get out of here.
Don't. Here,
Um,
not many people.
yeah, see, like you can be nice or mean to people, whatever you want in this game,
friends
and they'll always give you the exact same item. So,
keep you for death at bay.
um,
At least for a while.
anyway, like the way he was killing himself wasn't just by walking outside and letting people hit him. He would put on the heaviest set of armor he had, go to the highest point of Firelight Shrine, and just fall. Because if you...
Take good care of it.
Why are you being so nice? Yeah, especially if he's not being a dick to you.
That'll help balance it out.
He was like,
Oh, one more thing.
if you have heavier set armor on and fall, your fall damage is more because your armor is heavier. And I I just think that's like the most random thing to put in a game. But you know, it's also Dark Souls, so I'm not totally surprised. Anyway, check this out.